Welcome, D-Traders. It's me, Kate Tichina, and you are watching a recap of the Asian session. Stocks are trading mixed today due to a drop on Wall Street yesterday. Australian shares snapped the 4-day winning streak, and the New Zealand stock market remained almost unchanged. The Japanese equity market rose significantly, extending the gains of the previous two sessions. The sell-off in the stock market has intensified due to inflation and recession fears. Besides, investors expect the main central banks to raise rates higher. According to a Bloomberg study, out of 23 central banks, 12 are anticipated to tighten monetary policy further. Only 9 banks are likely to shift to monetary easing, and the remaining 2 will keep rates at the current level. Moreover, many central banks have not hiked interest rates to peak levels. However, at some point, they may take a break or even revise their stance. However, these are just predictions. In fact, yesterday, speculators were taken aback by rather hawkish comments from the two Fed policymakers. San Francisco and Atlanta Fed presidents said that the benchmark rate should be raised above 5%. Raphael Bostic stressed that the rates are likely to remain high, even for some period of 2024. Mary Daly provided even more hawkish remarks. She doesn't anticipate a discussion on a rise in the Fed's inflation target above 2%. So far, inflation has not shown any signs of a steady decline. Besides, it's unlikely to decrease in the coming year, she assumed. This is why Jerome Powell's today's speech at the forum in Stockholm will be in the limelight. Speculators will be looking for hints about the Fed's rate decision on February 1. Therefore, the last hours of the American session may be very volatile. Dollar bulls are also looking forward to Powell's speech. After a sharp fall to a 7-month low of 102.90, the US dollar was unable to recover in the Asian session. Hawkish comments of Fed policymakers caused a wave of a sell-off, pushing the greenback down against its main rivals. As a result, it dived to 203 by the close of a Monday. On a Tuesday morning, it was trading near 103.20, and the US currency is likely to remain rather volatile until Powell's testimony. However, it may remain weak for a long period of time given the numerous hawkish comments by the Fed. The US dollar was moving in the narrow range of 103.10 and 103.30 during the Asian session. Meanwhile, remarks of the Bank of Japan governor seem to have no impact on markets. It does not mean that his speeches do not contain anything new. The fact is that Haruhiko Kuroda stubbornly sticks to an ultra-loose monetary policy. He intends to maintain it until wages increase significantly. So far, only inflation has grown in Japan. It jumped to 4% in December, accelerating at the fastest pace in the last 4 decades. Businesses have to raise prices for consumers. For this reason, some analysts believe that the regulator may abandon its dovish stance. Reportedly, at the next meeting scheduled for January 18, the Bank of Japan could revise upwardly its inflation forecasts. There might also be an announcement about a new governor, so the odds of a policy reversal are quite high. The yen is sure to increase even amid the slightest changes in monetary policy. It has recently had a high correlation with the Fed's rate decisions and the movements of the US government bonds. Today, the Japanese currency tried to touch 131.40 following the weakening US dollar. However, it failed. It's still lacking in strength against the greenback. The dollar-yen pair climbed in the Asian session, moving in the upper range of 131.40 and 132.30. It might again try to recover to a high of the previous day, located at 132.65. However, the pair was trading significantly lower at 132 in the morning. Commodity currencies also managed to advance following a drop in the US currency. Besides China is fully reopening, it has fueled demand for risky assets, including the Australian dollar. Despite all these factors, the Aussie slid into the narrow range of 0.6887 and 0.6992. The further trajectory of the AUD-USD pair will mainly depend on the movements of the US dollar. In the Asian session, it was trading in the bearish corridor near the level of 0.6907. As seen, the New Zealand dollar had a similar trajectory. It was trading with small gains near the level of 0.6379. In the Asian session, it was fluctuating in the narrow range of 0.6360 and 0.6387. Will the US dollar be able to recover? We will find out in a few hours. Traders are also anticipating the US inflation report, which is no tap on a Thursday. Don't miss our next view review. Hit the subscribe button and keep your finger on the pulse. See you soon.